Thank you, madam. Very, very good morning to one all here. On behalf of Department of Biomedical Engineering and Danish Ministry of Technology, I welcome you all for this wonderful bridge course, and especially I welcome our beloved chief guest, Dr. Perlin Priscilla Madam, Assistant Professor, Department of English, PhD Krishnammal College of Engineering, and I would like to welcome our beloved principal sir and all the faculty members and my dear students. So I think today topic is a very important role, the effective communication and the way to improve the pronunciation. So I think this session will be very useful. So before that, I share some uh, about our department, Department of Biomedical Engineering. So in Dait, in Danish Institute of Technology, in our department started 2017. So totally in our faculty have well experienced faculties, members over here. Then all the labs are well established, like our diagnostic and therapeutic lab, and biomedical instrumentation, pathology and microbiology, human physiology. So many labs laboratories of well establishment. And in our department, best practice. In our department, the best practice is apart from the curriculum, we are constantly we encourage in a skill development program. We are conducting a skill development program. So like 3D coding, printing technology, then biomedical instrumentation training. So like that, so many skill development program the parallel we are conducting, and we are signed more than 20 plus MOUs in industry and hospitals also. It's a very backbone in our department, and also in our another the best practices in our department, student have done a very good many project and projects. So we are having the TRIC, technology research and in a incubation center. So this with the help of this, student can establish their knowledge in very practical way. Then the best practice, we are conducting more than technical and non-technical webinars and industrial visits, and also very, very important, the placements. The last year we achieved the 95% of placements in the students who achieved in industrials. So in our students in the first batch, I am very proud to say they all are in the good reputed company and the hospitals. So I'm very happy to again I'm very happy to invite you all this wonderful occasion. Thank you, one and all. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much, sir, for your hearty welcome and crystal clear detail of your department. Thank you so much. It's my privilege to welcome our principal, Dr. K.G. Parthiban, for the special address.
Thank you, Dilsad. Happy morning to one and all present over here. Distinguished resource person of today's program, Dr. D. Perlin Priscilla. The live webinar for the effective communication and the way of improve of the pronunciation. So on behalf of our management and my own behalf, I welcome you, madam, for this wonderful occasion. So my dear students, this is the 10th day Tech Talk program. So earlier we conducting the two kind of communication skill practice program for you. So one is the effective and importance of English communication. Second one is the spoken English through GCT browser. Today, a very important topic, the pronunciation of the communication skill. The pronunciation of the communication skill is the very, very essential for the other country job purpose. So pronouns are important because by using the person's pronouns correctly, other people are showing them respect and forming an inclusive environment. By assuming a person's pronouns, it is possible to send uninformative messages that people must look a certain way to be able to use their pronouns. So I hope today the resource person cover all the importance of the effective communication and importance of the pronunciation. I heartily congratulate the Science and Humanities Department, head of the department, Professor Sasikala, and the event coordinator, Dr. Dilsat Banu, and other faculty members of Science and Humanities. And also I thank Dr. A. Kingsley Jabakumar, HOD Biomedical Engineering Department, to explain their innovative ideas, best practice their department. So dear students, kindly utilize this session in a prompt way. Have a good day to all. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you very much, sir, for your excellent coverage. The most precious gift we can offer anyone is our attention. Let's have a special recognition and attention to today's chief guest. Today, our presiding personality, Dr. Perlin Priscilla, a multi-talented personality. She is working as an assistant professor and PhD at Krishnamal College for Women. She is a writer and poet too. She has written many books and anthologies. She is very fond of writing poems in English particular. She has given interview to All India Radio under the title of Elaya Bharatam. She has published 15 and above papers in international and in national journals too. Really, we are eagerly waiting to learn the ways to get a good communication, ma'am. Now, I would like to call upon our chief guest, Dr. Perlin Priscilla, for the inaugural address.
Thank you all for giving a very warm welcome and for all the good words that you have put forward about me, and I'm really happy to be here amidst so many eminent personalities here. So thank you so much, and I really like to go directly into the session because I thought I will not have time for discussion. So after my presentation, I would like to go in for a discussion session so that we can clarify many doubts, and we will see whether you are able to understand or whether you had understood what had been handled in today's session. So let me present my screen. Please let me know if you can see my screen.
Yes, ma'am, we can see your screen.
Thank you, Dr. Dilshad Banu.
Students, listen to class carefully and be interactive. If ma'am raise any questions, please react.
Yes, shall I begin, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. It's a pleasure, ma'am.
Yes. So the title is Effective Communication and the Ways to Improve Pronunciation. So what is effective communication? Why do you call it as communication being effective? Can you give me some inputs? Ma'am, can you mute? The audio is unmute. Can you mute?
Yes, ma'am. Guys, please come on and react to the question.
It is useful to interact with each other, ma'am.
Useful to interact with each other in what way? Communication is a process where you communicate with each other. It is a two-way process, but why do we call it as effective? Why effective communication? Usually you would have already had sessions on effective communication skills, about how you can communicate effectively using all the skills. What are the barriers to communication, and how you can have an interaction with people. Yes, you will have a sender, you will have a receiver. Yes, you code and you decode, you encode communication. So there will be so many technical words or theory related to communication. But why do we need effective communication? Can you give me a small gist on what is effective? What do you mean by effective? Okay, effective is nothing but, what you're going to communicate with the other person, they should be able to understand the content of your information passed on to that particular person in a simple way, in an easier way, in an effective way. Okay? Communication, everyone can communicate. Even birds, even animals can communicate with each other. But the person you're communicating with or with the people that you're going to communicate, they should be able to understand effectively. Okay, that's the main idea or the purpose of this particular session. Okay, so how to improve your pronunciation with regards to communication. All right, so let's go into the session. Is the title clear for you to understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, thank you. So, what is the importance of information here? Why do we need information for communication? What is information? Can you give me your, information on that? Can you give me a sentence on that? Your idea on information. Why do we need information? What is information? Why do we give information, why do we give importance to information? So information is nothing but what? Isma, tell me.
To gain knowledge from some
To,
information.
okay, to collect information, to collect knowledge, and to provide that information to someone, to share your knowledge, to communicate, one particular information to another. Yes, you are right. So what is the effect of incomplete information? So what do you think will be the impact of an incomplete information which is being passed on from one person to the other person? For example, I'll give you an example. There is, you as a student, you are asked to do something, you are asked to convey from one particular person to another particular person. For example, your principal is asking you to convey one kind of information to your HOD. So if there is a miscommunication in that person who is informing one person to the other, what do you think will happen? What do you think will happen? It's a very
Everything will
practical.
collapse
Yes.
and there will be a
Yes.
problem.
Yes. You will be the center, the source, epicenter of that problem, that problematic situation. Yes. So you will get right and left from both the principal and the HOD, right? Just because you gave a miscommunication, okay, a misinformation, all right, an incomplete information. So this is why we need effective communication skill. You have to develop those effective communication skills. Okay, let's see. So what are the important points to improve your communication skills? So communication skills here comprises of 10% of words, 30% of your tone and your rhythm, which we call it as intonation, and 60% of body language. Okay, so what is tone here? What is tone? What is rhythm? So it is the intonation, the up and high, the low, okay, the up and low tone of your voice, the high and the low tone of your voice, the intonation, the stress that you give for each word that you speak, all right, the way you speak, how rhythmical your language is. So everything is very important while you speak the language, any kind of language, not just English. It can be any kind of language. The tone matters. Okay, the rhythm matters. The way you're going to convey the meaning just because of tone can vary. All right. For example, let me give you an example. What is wrong with you? This is an example. So what is wrong with you? This is like you are very mild, you are very polite. This is one tone. What is wrong with you? It's like you're angry, right? What is wrong with you? All right. This kind of tone also says another, gives a totally different meaning to that particular statement, the same statement. All right. So, what is wrong with you? So, this voice, this tone also conveys another meaning to that particular sentence. Yes? Do you understand the difference in all these three ways of confirming or of giving this particular sentence, speaking this particular sentence with this intonation? Are you able to follow it up?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
what? Yes. So what do you think is body language here? What is body language? Why do we need body language? What is body language? Okay, we'll come back to it once we get into the session. So what is miscommunication? Again, I already spoke about that, misinformation. Okay, all right, let's see. So what are the important points to improve communication skills as in confidence, okay, in the terms of your enthusiasm, how enthusiastic you are, how involved you are in conveying that particular information, or in exchanging your ideas, your thoughts, your opinions, your passions, your ambitions, how involved you are in what you're going to speak, in what you're going to communicate. That matters so much in your life, in everything that you're going to do. So you must have a clear objective, a goal, an aim. All right. So you should have a self-prepared script. You're going to present something, or if you're going to convey a particular very important information, you should have a script. What is script? A written down note, a note which you have written down. You can write and keep like a note. All right. So the subject matter, is very important. Okay, the subject, what you're going to convey, the content which you're going to convey does matter. All right. So you should have an effective beginning, okay, with a small quote, or with a short pun, or some what to say, a very good vibe that you can pass on to the audience or to the listener. All right. So you should have a very clear voice. Only then people will be able to develop interest in what you're going to say, in what you're going to convey, or in what you're going to share. If that is not clear, then that will be a problem in what you're going to speak about or what you're going to present. So you should be very clear in what you're going to do. So that you should have a set speed limit, not too fast, not too slow. All right. It should be like with a normal speed where people will be able to understand what you're actually trying to convey. All right. So there must be a logical presentation in whatever you're going to speak about. All right. That must be a logical, coherent in idea, in the thought process that you're going to speak or you're going to convey. So audience is very important. The group or the particular kind of audience that you're going to convey, you should be very, clear about who the audience is going to be. All right. So accordingly, you should prepare your content. So the local language also matters. If the audience are not that well versed in the language that you're going to speak, you can use bilingual language or multilingual language for them to understand, which we will see during the process of this particular session. All right. So you should have an effective end, just like how you have an effective beginning, you should have an effective end due to that speech. So you should keep up with the time limit. You should always see that time frame that you're going to present. It can be an assignment, can be a seminar, or it can be, a talk as such. Whatever it is, you should see the time limit. So always, start and end with a prayer, which is a very good, a meditation process, which will set your mind, which will keep your mind focused to that particular, a process. All right. So what are the skills that we are going to see? What are the skills that we are going to see here? So it is listening, speaking, reading, and writing. Okay. So again, and non-verbal communication. So these are the skills that you are supposed to develop. So why do we call it as LSRW? Can you tell me why it is called as LSRW?
Listening, speaking,
Hmm.
reading, and writing.
I know that, but why is it listening first, speaking second? Why LSRW? It's 1, 2, 3, 4.
Only if we listen what others are speaking, we can answer them.
Okay. Then
When
speaking.
we
Okay.
speak the words again and again, it stores in our mind, ma'am.
Okay. So you are very, you get comfortable with the words, you get comfortable with the vocabulary, then you are able to read, and then you are able to write it, right? Is that what you are trying to convey? Yes, you are right, but you are missing a very important point here. LSRW is ranked according to the difficulty of that particular skill. So listening is much easier to listen to. Okay. Why do you listen and why do you hear, and what is the difference between both? What is hearing and what is listening, and what is the difference between both?
Hearing is just we are hearing what they speak, and listening, which we store everything in our mind, ma'am.
You are somewhere there, but not to the point. Can anyone else try? Can anyone else try? What is the difference between listening and hearing?
Actually, Dr. Pauline ma'am, they
ma'am.
are
Yes, ma'am.
hearing our teachings and they are listening the music, right, ma'am?
Somewhat similar, ma'am, but not to the point
They
again.
will listen the music clearly, what are the words they are using. But we are teaching, simply they'll hear, wow, ma'am is telling like this. So there's a difference they will say.
That's very much true, because only to what you have the interest in you listen to, whereas you hear to everything that's happening around you. And Darshit ma'am is really right on what she said, because you listen to songs with so much involvement so that you remember all the words, even the lyrics in it, whereas when you're going to listen to a subject teacher, you tend to skip so many informations and you're going to take in only what is very needed for your subject matter or for your exams. Only that you're going to take in. So that's why listening is a very tentative process, where you're going to listen only to what you are interested in and what kind of information you want to learn about. All right. This is why it is different. Listening is different from hearing. And what is, speaking? After listening, you speak. So what is the difficulty in speaking? So if you don't have confidence, if you don't know much vocabulary, or if you don't know much phrases, then there will be problem in your way of speaking. You will have problem in the information that you're going to convey. All right, this is the problem with speaking. So what is the problem with reading? Why reading is important? Until otherwise you sit down and read certain books, certain journals, articles, or any particular reading material, or any kind of source that you're going to take, say travelogues. So you're going to read for a particular information that you want to know, or for leisure, or for pleasure. It depends on what information that you need through your reading skill. Okay, so according to that, how voracious you are, so much information or knowledge you gain, and with that you tend to write. First you try to imitate, and then you try to have your own style of writing. All right, so the most difficult skill to master in any language is writing. Okay, especially in English language, writing is a very important skill that is very difficult to master. All right, so what is non-verbal communication here? Why is non-verbal communication given more importance? So even what is non-verbal communication? Can you give me? Can you tell me what is non-verbal communication?
Body language, ma'am.
As body language, as much as I have already informed you about in the first PPT. So what is the non-verbal communication? Just body language? What is body language then? Okay, we will come back to it. So I'm going to see everything in a detailed manner. So in everyday speech, while giving an while trying to effectively speak, okay, effective speaking. Why do we need that effective speaking here? Just not speaking, just not speech. Why do we need effectiveness in your speech? So remember the person to whom you are talking first. You should know the hierarchy. You should know the person, the kind of person you're going to speak to. All right, whom you're going to speak, whether it's going to be a family member or a friend or a person of a higher authority. So you should know to whom you are talking to. So don't put hands in your pocket while talking to a senior in a non-casual manner. If you're going to be with a friend, then that's okay. But if you're going to be in front of an authority, an authoritative person, then you should know how your mannerisms are. There is a book called Etiquettes. Okay, so go and check. So you should know mannerisms. All right, that is the way. Etiquettes. You have cooking etiquettes. You have a speech etiquettes. All right. So these are etiquettes. There are etiquettes or certain discipline. What is that? Disciplined actions or mannerisms that you should learn while you're going to speak or while you're going to handle an information, whatever it is. Okay, in any situation. So don't chew anything when you talk. So it is considered degrading the person that you're talking to in certain countries. All right, so please don't do that. So avoid playing with a pen or any object. Look at the person, not away from him. Look at the eye and speak. This will convey that you are interested in talking to that particular person. So please take off your sunglasses. Sunglasses are just to wear it outside, not in front of the person that you're going to talk to. So even if you're going to be there outside, please remove your sunglasses and then speak to them looking at the eye to eye, face to face conversation. Okay. All right. So remain as normal as you can. There must be no artificial way of speaking like, like that. All right. Ouch. Okay. Don't modulate your voice like someone who is not you yourself. Don't do that. All right, it is totally abnormal for people to see a different version of you in a sudden way. So it doesn't actually impress the person who is going to listen to you. All right. So what is public speaking? So in public speaking, you will have some presentations. You can use some visual aids during public speaking. Okay, and the way you are going to deliver your speech matters most. Okay, so what is a good presentation? So always try to understand the audience, just like how I told you before in the beginning. Always know your audience, whom you're going to talk to. So keep in mind the number of people inclusive of all the genders. All right, so determine the general attitude of the audience to the topic. All right. So first you should know what is the general idea or what will be the general perception of that particular topic you're going to handle to that particular group or to that particular audience. You should know, and then you are supposed to handle that particular topic. So analyze the mood of the audience, how they will be, whether they will be able to, receive whatever information that you're going to convey. Okay, so again, you should know the audience understanding of the subject. You should always have a preview or go through or revise with the main points and limit the speech to only to two or 3 to 4 main points. Okay, don't go very deep into that particular topic, and even people will not be able to receive all the information that you're going to share within that particular period of time. All right, so in a large presentation, always include previews and summary of major points at the end of each session. So visual aids are nothing but, like PPTs, like videos, or, any kind of work that you're going to have. All right, so use visual aids to show how things look, work, and relate to one another. So use visual aids to highlight information and create interest in your subject or in your topic that you're going to handle. So you should know what are the appropriate visual aids that you're going to select for that particular presentation. So always limit visuals to your main points which you're going to convey. All right, make sure that the equipments always work. For example, if you're going to present using a projector or with a laptop, you should know whether everything works right. Okay, how do you deliver? Why delivery is very important in your speech? Always establish eye contact. Okay, speak clearly. Whatever you're going to speak, you should be able to convey that particular information to all the audience in that particular presentation. So do not go too fast. Be sure everyone can hear what you're going to say. Speak in a natural style. Keep us, be very natural, be yourself, be comfortable, so that even the people in the audience will be comfortable in your way of handling that particular subject or the topic. So always stand up straight, use gestures in a natural and appropriate way. Always encourage questions. That's why I keep asking questions in between my session. Okay. So respond to questions without sidetracking. So you should allow time for that particular audience or for that particular individual to respond to your questions. Okay, so you should listen to all the questions, you should listen to all the answers, and then respond accordingly. Okay, you should not be like narrow-minded and limit your answers only to certain people and only to certain information. Okay, there must be no bias in whatever we're going to handle. Okay, so why do we need effective writing again? So don't have a fear for writing. If you fear that writing is very difficult, and even if you don't know the grammatical errors, or if you don't know like what is the right way of writing with particular grammar, with the proper grammar, don't have a fear for it. Whatever information that you're going to write, as long as the person is able to understand, that's enough. Okay, as long as the audience or as long as that particular person whom you're going to write is able to understand what you're going to write, then don't have fear for writing. All right, so start with that, and once you start, then you'll be able to write in a flawless manner. Okay, in a flow, you will be able to write, but only with practice you'll be able to do that. So always visualize your audience, create a productive environment, the situation that you will be interested in, and then make an outline or notes. Okay, just start, begin. That's the first dot that you're going to keep. Okay, write the middle part first, which will be the very important part. Okay, always the middle part, the body of that particular write-up is very important. So start with what is very important, and then the in a story will start. The story will align itself. Okay, so give orders. All right, if to give orders, you should know what are the words you're supposed to write. Okay, how we are going to align. So say things directly. Okay, indirect things might miscommunicate the information that you are going to pass on. So always speak directly or write directly about that information that you want to convey. So adapt a tone of confidence about what you're going to say. All right, that tone of confidence must be there in whatever you're going to say. Yes, sir. All right. So is there a problem?
Nothing, ma'am.
Okay. So look beyond the speaker style by asking yourself what the speaker knows that you do not. Okay. So hold opposing opinions until you have heard the total message. Please listen to that particular information or that particular speech throughout before you're going to oppose a particular opinion or oppose to that particular message. Okay. Before expressing that, always listen to the speaker completely. Okay, listen for the central theme, what is there in that particular writing or in that particular speaking, whatever it is, always have a central theme. Okay, please listen for that information. So keep an open mind. Okay, fight distraction by closing doors, turning off radios and TV. Make meaningful notes that are brief and to the point. Stay ahead of the speaker by anticipating what will be said next. All right. Evaluate and criticize the content, not the speaker. So what is evaluation? What is criticizing? What is the content that you're going to listen to? Okay, so always keep that in mind. You're not going to have any personal grudge or personal revenge with the speaker, but only the content of the speaker. So always evaluate and criticize only the content, but not the speaker himself or herself. Okay, so why do we need effective reading again? So remove all the distractions around, ensure there is a proper lighting while you're reading, don't make the surrounding too comfortable, otherwise you will go to sleep. Okay, so always keep your surrounding in a way that it will be pleasant for you to sit down and read without any distractions around. So read twice for better understanding. Okay, so when you don't have the meaning of any word or if you don't know the meaning of any word, use the dictionary then and there. Okay, only then you will be able to understand the idea, the thought process, which is coherently following with one another. So do not make any assumptions until otherwise you finish reading the entire thing. So again, coming back to non-verbal communication. So non-verbal communications are like gestures where you have a posture of your own self, the way you stand, the way you move your head, your hands, okay, the way you're going to speak with your language, the ups and downs of your language, of your voice, the attitude that you're going to have, that you're going to project about yourself, the facial expressions that you're going to make, the way that you're going to connect with the audience with your eyes. Okay, so all of these are a few non-verbal communications which are very much important in your everyday life. So have you heard about Indian Wobble? Speaking of non-verbal communication, every community has different ways of expressing themselves. Germans know they will speak rude, but actually that's their normal way of speaking. Same way, it's like Russian people, they will have an attitude like I am me, and nothing more. It's like whatever they say is right. So Russians will have that kind of a communal character. Okay, so what do you think Indian Wobble is? WOBBLE. You don't know about Indian Wobble?
Speaking kind, ma'am.
No. Indian Wobble is the head wobble where you always shake your head. If yes, you say yes. If no, you say no. But Indian Wobble is like you shake your head both the sides simultaneously. Have you heard of it? Have you seen it? What is Indian Wobble? You shake your head for everything. You use your head for everything. Okay? Tanjavur, no, it's common in every it's common in every community in Tamil Nadu. All right, so you can observe yourself and see in your classroom itself. One person will be talking to the other person will be explaining whatever it is with a wobble. They'll keep their head moving, shaking. Okay, so please try to check that out and see whether you are able to find that something different from other community or other cultures. All right, so this is very unique to Indians. Okay, we use even horns while you're driving a bike, there will be people who will be honking you always, or there will be people honking, in a certain way. It's like communicating through horns. Okay, even on honking, no, we convey a particular meaning to that particular person who is going in front of you or who is coming in the opposite of you. Okay, so everything matters while you are doing certain things, especially with communication. Okay, so these are certain examples that I like to share on non-verbal communication. So shall we go with pronunciation? I don't think we have much time, so let me go quick into it. So what are the ways that you can actually improve your English language with pronunciation? Again, it is pronounce and pronunciation. So in pronounce, it is P-R-O-N-O-U-N-C-E. Whereas in pronunciation, it is P-R-O-N-U-N-C-I-A-T-I-O-N. So you should be very clear in what you're going to say, especially the spelling and the way that you're going to speak. The phonetic script differs in English. You will have silent E's, silent H, silent S and Z sounds, T and D sounds, P and B sounds. Okay, so there are differences in the writing script and in the way that you're going to speak the language as such. So reading and recording sentences out loud will help you out. Okay, see, these are the greatest ways in improving your pronunciation skills. Always read out loud whenever you're reading. You can try to read a particular page from a newspaper or from any travelogues or from any magazines. You can tend to read it out aloud. So it allows us to gain fluency and rhythm in your way of speech. So this is extremely important in English, and in particular when American English is involved, because Americans, they tend to speak the words short. Even Australians, they don't say yes or yeah, but they go for yup. Not as no or not or it's okay, but they go for nope. Okay, so there are very short words where Americans or Australians are very much linked with. So you will not know, the certain words, the meaning of certain words while you're trying to understand certain community, people belonging to certain community. All right. So always it's better that you practice with a foreigner. If you have a friend, a foreign friend, or any foreigner, if you tend to meet them, you can meet them in malls or through some international student programs, or when you're visiting some tourist places. Always try to engage in a conversation with them so that you'll be able to improve yourself in your language. So why should you talk to them? So it increases your own confidence in building your own self, in building your own language. Okay, it helps us, it helps you or us to identify accents from around the world. All right. So what should you talk about? So you can speak about the great things about the city, or from where you are from, or from where that particular person is from. You can speak about the cultural differences in the way with the food, with your traditions. Okay, you can always strike a conversation with these ideas at hand. Okay, so one of the hardest things to do when learning a language is speaking with those who are native speakers, because the way they speak, okay, native speakers, their accents, the words that you're going to use might vary from the way that you have been brought up or from the way that you have been taught to grow up with. So always, go slow, try to listen to the person first, okay, and with confidence, just speak. All right, so you don't have to, keep yourself in check always whether what I'm going to speak is right or wrong. No, don't go for all those judgments. Whatever you're going to convey, as long as the person is going to understand what you're going to say, then no problem. Just strike out the grammatical mistakes and everything. Even if you're going to say a very wrong sentence without a grammatical sentence, don't worry about it. As long as the person is able to understand the information that you're going to share, or the way that you're going to communicate, no problem. Okay, there will be no problem in that. So what are the specialized web pages that you can go through to improve your pronunciation? You can take them down or take a snapshot of this PPT or of this slide. Okay, so there is great websites where you can, which help you improve in your pronunciation. You can go for Talk English. The spelling is phonetics. Okay, that's the how you pronounce the word. Okay, so and then BBC Learning. So these are the web pages which you can go through. So concluding, we already saw about the effective ways of communicating, how communication is important in listening, speaking, reading, and writing using nonverbal communication, and how reading out loud increases rhythm and fluency. We saw about talking to strangers, how it will boost your confidence, and we also saw about the specialized web pages that can show us the technical way to pronounce effectively. So I hope all of you are able to understand what has been handled today. So I would like to go straight into the question session or discussion session. Now, will we have time, ma'am, for a discussion session? Just 5 minutes.
Yes, ma'am. You can go ahead, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. So can we have a discussion session?
Yeah, guys, come forward. This is a wonderful chance to impart your knowledge.
So I have a small question for the audience so that we can start with the conversation session. There will be certain words that you have heard differently or wrongly in your everyday conversation or in your everyday routine life. So if you want any clarifications with the words, you can ask me or you can type in the chat box. I'll be able to handle that for you.
Ma'am, on doubt, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, usually they'll tell phone பண்ணு
Blessy,
அப்படின்றதுக்கு
please introduce yourself. Blessy, please introduce yourself and ask your question.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I am Bernice Bleslin from BTech Food Technology Department. Shall I proceed, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Please go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. Normally they'll tell call பண்ணு, no, ma'am. So in English, how to tell it, ma'am? Call me means
what is it? I didn't get the word.
Normally they'll tell if someone want to call us, they'll tell இப்ப நம்மளுக்கு யாராச்சும் ஃபோன் பண்ணணும்னா what they'll tell, please call me.
Yes.
But I feel that it's not the correct one because when I tell ma'am please call me means I'll tell you will tell call me by my name. Yes.
Between friends are you talking about or between staff?
Between friends, ma'am.
Friends, okay.
No, I'm asking what is the correct word, correct sentence?
You can just ask them to just give me a call or ping me in.
Pardon, no?
Slide in a message. There's so many ways to communicate with your friends. You can ask them to ping you in, ping me in. I will type in the chat box, okay? I will give you so many words that you can use.
Yes, like, no, ma'am. I feel it's a wrong sentence. Call me. That is, that is also call me. And எனக்கு call பண்ணு, phone பண்ணு. That is also call me.
Okay, I have given you the sentence. You can just ask them to give you a call or give me a call. That's the right way.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, no mention. Or you can also say if you want to do a message, slide in a text. All right. You can just there are so many ways in which you can communicate. Oh, these are certain sentences, few sentences which I have given you in the chat box. Yes.
Thank you, ma'am.
No mention. Thank you, Bernice. If you have any difficulty in pronouncing certain words, you can type in the chat box so that I can correct the way that the word should actually be pronounced. You can type in the chat box if you want me to help you understand in the way of pronouncing certain words. I think that's where you will be lagging in many places, especially with Indians. Okay, we have our own way of pronouncing certain words. They term you as Indian English or Indian language. That's why, in most of the cases, you don't get jobs in international forums as a teacher or as on the way of your language. People just don't take you in because they tend to say that you have a slang, an Indian slang. Okay, so with proper pronunciation practices, you will be able to, understand or improve yourself in your way of speech. So can you just let me know if you can see a whiteboard, Jamboard? I will teach you like how you can actually learn pronunciation or learn the words that you're going to pronounce in certain way. It's a small tip that I like to share. Can you view my board? Jamboard? Can you view my whiteboard?
Yes, Dr. Pauline, you can.
Okay. Can you view the board? All right. So here is here is a word here. How will you pronounce this word? Okay, please let me know. All right. Okay. Can you see the word? Can you see the word here?
Guys, open the link and yeah.
I think it's better to present my screen. Can you view the screen now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So how do you pronounce this word here?
Association.
Association.
Yes, ma'am.
Association, ma'am.
Association, ma'am.
Association.
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 Association. Yes. Okay. Now, I think everyone heard what your friends pronounce this word as. Okay. With this, I want one of you to say this. Yes. Now, can you pronounce this? This denotes the places where you have to stop shortly with a short stress. Now, can you pronounce this word?
Who, soap,
Association.
Association.
Association. Right?
Yes,
Yes.
yes,
This
ma'am.
is the right way of pronouncing this particular word. Okay. So always have your own way of, what to say, to divide the words according to the phoneme stress, the morpheme or phoneme. Okay. So morpheme and phonemes are nothing but the shortest unit of a particular word. It can be, the way that you pronounce or with the shortest word in that particular, a letter or that particular alphabet. All right. So let's go for another, another word. Can you give me some words like which you would like to know the exact pronunciation for that particular word? Do you have any suggestions? You don't have any suggestions? You can type in the chat box as well. Okay, how will you pronounce this word then? Okay. How will you pronounce this word?
Beautiful.
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 Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, the last before person who pronounced the word beautiful, can you pronounce it again?
Beautiful.
Beautiful. Yes, you're right. You say it as just beau or beau. Beau. Okay, beau. Full. How do you say full? With an H here? Yes? It's like beautiful. All right? Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes. So you give an expression of saying beautiful. You look very beautiful. Yes. You should give, put that emotion into whatever you're going to say. That's where your intonation and the rhythm and the tune that you're going to speak to will matter most. Okay. You are beautiful. Abhi, you should not say, no, the meaning itself flip flops, right? You are beautiful, po, right? If you say in that way, the communication, there is a miscommunication there, right? So when you say you are very beautiful today, so it gives a very good vibe. It conveys the meaning of what you are exactly trying to say. So can you give me some words in which that I could teach you in what you can in the way of pronunciation? Can you give me more words? I can tell you how to pronounce them.
Yeah, guys, come forward. You can suggest some words to get a good pronunciation. If you have any doubts how to pronounce this word, ma'am, I don't know. I'm getting doubt. Likewise,
Yes, ma'am.
yeah, guys, come forward. You can share some words that you are having doubts in that pronunciation.
Which one, ma'am?
No, I'm asking students if they
Students.
have
Oh.
doubts. Yeah.
Do you have any doubts in any particular word that you would like to pronounce or have it corrected? In most of the cases, no, we always say it is a power cut. It's not power cut or power cut. No, current cut, no, current cut. No, it's not like current cut. You cannot cut a current. Okay, it's actually power cut. Okay, and it's not power cut or power cutter. All right, we have a power cut in our area or in our house. Okay, it's a power cut. All right, so certain words, no, people tend to mispronounce them. All right. So
Ma'am,
yes, ma'am.
can you teach some words to our students through, I mean, in online classes, what are the words we can use? Like, it's not visible. Am I audible? Likewise, particularly maximum people are attending only through online classes on online platform we are using. So classroom English, that is totally, it's another track. So now
Yes,
in
ma'am.
this platform, what are the different words they can use? So please, can you teach them some words, ma'am?
In the viewpoint of students or staff, ma'am?
Students, ma'am.
Students,
Because they
okay.
are beginners,
Okay.
they are presence only. So for them, can you teach them?
Yes, it is always right to speak politely. Don't use short forms while using any particular words. Just even while typing a message in the chat box, just don't say K for OK or just don't say O and K alone. You are supposed to write the whole sentence or the whole word as such. That's how you learn the correct spelling of that particular language and also the right way of speaking to your seniors or to your staff. So I always advise my students to write even the full spelling for ma'am, the right way of pronouncing that word or writing that particular word. So I'll just type it in the chat box. If you can view them, it is like always say okay ma'am. This is the right way of typing in a chat box, or say yes ma'am or yes sir, and don't use Yeah, ma'am. Yeah, no, don't use that. It's a very informal way of speaking. It's only with your friends, not with the staff or the teacher who is handling the subjects for you. And the right way of writing the word ma'am itself is M-A and apostrophe and A and then ma'am. It's not like M-A-M. That's wrong. Okay, and don't write K, don't write OK alone. Yes, now these are the certain words that I'm explaining it to you. Or you can say, ma'am, could you kindly pause? I couldn't understand. Will you be able to kindly explain in this topic, or can you explain more under this particular session? All right, you should be able to talk politely. All right, you should know the humble way of addressing that particular person, and you should know when and where and how to speak. You should not cut the person who is presenting in between, and then cut the flow of that particular session. You should wait for the session, for the discussion session, write down where you have doubts, and then at the end of the session, I always give my students like 15 to 10 minutes of time for a discussion session. That's why I always give an importance to discussion session. Only then we'll be able to understand whether the students, whether they had understood what we have handled on that particular subject. So always we have a discussion, students ask doubts, and even when you're asking doubts, you should speak in a very polite way. You should know what words to use. Always use model verbs: can, could, shall, okay, may. All right. So please use those model verbs. Use polite way of speaking or writing, or whatever it is. Whenever you're writing an email also, no, always you request. You ask for permission. While asking for permission, you request. Okay, it's not request, it's request. You request for a particular permission, or for an OD or whatever it is. You are going to write, I request you to kindly permit me. So again, don't use request and kindly in the same sentence. It's a wrong usage, because request itself means you're going to ask humbly, kindly. It is default. So you don't have to use kindly again in the same sentence where you're going to use request. Okay. So always do that. Use polite forms of using your language, be it writing or be it speaking or whatever it is. Was it useful, ma'am? Did I answer to your question?
Yeah, sure, ma'am. That's no doubt. Really, that's good. It's awesome.
Thank you, ma'am.
Guys, any doubts?
No, ma'am.
I think you people have learned a lot from today's session, right? Over different vernaculars, how you have to proceed, how you have to use the words, in which situation and everything, right? Am I right, my dears?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
I think in future, definitely are going to apply all these things. What it all you learn from today's personality, definitely in future you will use. We are expecting that respect and learning language, communication, everything from you. Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Thank you, ma'am. Really, it's fantastic. We had the session of Viso. It's marvelous. We learned a lot through your session.
Thank you
Students,
so much.
please don't forget to fill the attendance form. Please don't forget, everyone. Please fill the form correctly without fail, okay? We get good events never ends in the world. They take one day a pass and keep us waiting for the next. Now we are about to end up the session. I call upon Mr. Ariyumani, Assistant Professor of Maths, to propose the word of thanks.
Good morning.